I'd be scared of driving that. The rims, I'd be scared. I'd be scared I would grind them on the curb. Look how clean Dave's car is. I don't want to grind his rims on the curb.
It's Morgan Freeman here. This episode of Crack It with Retro Collectibles is sponsored by, and in conjunction with, the godfather of diecast, the mysterious but generous Glenn Cowie, and the Cowie Diecast Museum, letting expensive diecast cars breathe since 2019.
Oh, now that I'm feeling better, like I told you guys, I'm just purging everything, cleaning my little area in the basement, getting so much done. About to put stuff on Marketplace, get rid of all my old ads, refresh them, just the stuff that I don't collect anymore. A little bit of everything. That I got as a kid, eh? I got that signed in person, believe it or not. Old timer hockey game, Sault Ste. Marie. I met Rocket Richard. He was an old guy then. Got his autograph. He was a referee at the time. Met his younger brother, got his autograph, but I know that's real because I got it in person. Before we get into some unboxings and see what the crew brought back, I'm going to jump in the shower. I don't want you guys to come with me. I'm sure you don't want to come with me. So while I do that, check out what we got up to over the weekend. So you guys all know for the past, up to a year since I've had surgery, I haven't felt well or normal. So I haven't been socializing with my friends like I normally would because I haven't been feeling well in my brain. So to have all these guys come over Saturday and Glenn threw a barbecue and I was even enjoying the food. When it was on the grill, I was salivating. Like whatever it was that I was going through, I had even lost my joy because I'm usually a big eater, right? Like I still love food, but yeah, we had a few cars that looked like Fast and Furious. It wasn't a cloud in the sky either, and it was exactly what I needed, that interaction with my friends. Like even Dave, like I noticed that we're back the way things were before my surgery. Like things weren't the same with me the way I was. There I am at 5 in the next morning. People out even across the street. Beautiful weather. Okay guys, before we get into showing you what was brought back by the boys from the States, 2 updates. Number 1, I got to give you guys an apology. Usually if I say I'm going to do a video, you guys know I do it unless it's like a really weird circumstance. The live ones are the ones that I've said I'm going to do, and then a couple times we didn't do it. I've never promised, I don't think, a full-length video and not done it. Over the weekend, I was going to London, as you know, to get our deal of the week, which was the $25 Godfather El Padrino car in the box. The 1 of 18 scale for $25. I had my cousin Brian pick it up for me, and I was going to go down and see him, visit him. I had a little Batmobile gift for him because he likes Batman, him and my cousin, my younger cousin. And so I got in my car, and what happened was the video when me and Glenn went to Barrie. We drove all the way to Barrie from Hamilton in my car. My car is a little bit low to the ground. You guys know my lower back. I have what's called osteoarthritis. I've got wedging in one of my discs. My lower back's not the greatest. Luckily, I can work my butt off. Like, my injury is something that I couldn't sit for 8 hours a day, or stand for 8 hours a day. So luckily, it doesn't affect me working. It's one of those injuries. But it's the sitting. So when we went to Barrie, I started getting sore on the way to Barrie. And by the time we got there, it was so bad, I was going to ask Glenn to drive my car back. Because it went up in my shoulder, my neck. And I was getting to where I was almost thought I was going to pass out a couple times. Not from pain, but just from this weird flash thing that was happening. So we made it back okay, and I said, okay, I'm going to be careful of that. And then it was perfect weather, beautiful day. I left early afternoon when all the traffic was kind of already at their destinations. Highway wasn't bad. I hadn't even got out of Hamilton yet. I was still on the 403. and I started getting the feeling in my back, and it started getting worse, and it wasn't even out of the district yet. And I said, what happens if I drive to London? I didn't have Glenn with me, I was alone. I said, what happens if I go to London and that happens with my back? And this time I'm alone and I don't got a guy, because like it literally, when it happened before, like Glenn was like, he didn't realize it, but he talked to me a lot of the way back, because it was, I didn't want to worry him, but it was that bad. So I didn't want to get in that position again. So I called my cousin, said, do you mind if I come a different day? I don't got a good feeling about this. I just didn't have a good feeling. Like I said, the highway looked perfect. Everything looked perfect. Weather was perfect. I don't know if the gut feeling was that my back was going to get real bad, or if there was an accident going to happen, but just my gut usually is right. So despite the beautiful weather and everything, and you guys see I drive through storms to get stuff, I turned around and came home. Like even Diane was shocked about that, but she said, you know what? If you felt that way, I'm glad you did it, because you got a good instinct. So never know what could have happened. So instead of doing that, we're going to get into this, which is they brought back a ton of awesome stuff from the States. And we got a triple unboxing of 3 beautiful Mopars. Happy Victoria Day. And if you're not in Canada, happy Monday. Happy whatever day. Hope your weather's good and hope you had a good weekend. So before we get into that, I got a little news update. Okay, so the Ali G thing, you guys heard the joke going around. It was a guy, I'm not going to give his real name, I just call him Ali G. I said until this was worked out, he's going to be an actor in my movies. And that's why you've seen this little guy here in my movies. Because he did something, he went in a different door at a show that we're all part of and we all love. I don't want to start naming things, but you can figure it out. And he thought it was a joke that he wasn't going to pay. And nobody thought it was a joke. So... but he made what was right, and I got word from the people involved that he made it right with an e-transfer. It wasn't the amount of money, it was the fact that you're ripping people off, and we don't like that, and yeah, we don't like that in that clique, so don't do that. So because he did that, I was doing this. But now because he made it right, you might not see Ali G acting in my movies anymore. Unless he acts up again. I hate bullies and I hate bugging people. So if you were wondering, that's why I was putting that guy like that. Because he did that. And he knew it. Because he's on my Facebook and he sees everything I post. And I was sending him stuff. So he knew it. It's not like he didn't know it. It's kind of like a game that was going on. But it's done now. For anyone wondering, the Ontario Diecast Addicts people, the admin, all of that, they had no part of that, me showing Ali G in videos. None of that. They didn't ask me to do it. Nothing. They didn't put me up to it, anything like that. But yeah, don't roll on that group because that's our favorite group. And if you do that, you might be an actor in a movie if you do something like that. So don't do that. Be cool to that group. Okay, guys, just gathering our gloves, gathering everything we need for do some cracking. Crack it! Triple crack it. While we do that, though, check out the stuff that Dave brought in from the States for himself yesterday. Now, he's like me. He doesn't need to be taught any hustle at all. I could open up a school of hustle to find stuff on Marketplace and have Dave teach the class. He's just he's just as good as me in that regard with finding stuff. And he picked out some unique stuff yesterday. One of them I love. It's a little, I'll show you. It's a Camaro. It's the first thing that they show anyway. But I think we got him collecting some stuff more like what we collect. Because he's liking what we collect, and that's awesome. Camaraderie. Oh, check it out. We got some good stuff here. That's cool, guys. The first shot stuff. Love that. Right there, you see Dave got some nice movie cars for himself. Finally. Those are cool.
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
finally building his personal collection up with good stuff now. Movie cars, I got that one too.
When we coming out his ass at home.
I like that green one, you don't see it often. This one you have, the second one here, Glenn, you got that one.
Yeah, that one.
Older Johnny Lightning, that's cool. These are the older Johnny Lightnings. Lots of good stuff. All from that state sale. That's awesome. That's the stuff Giuliano collects right there. Yeah, he was messaging me on the way back saying, wait till you see the stuff that I brought back. Now, usually Dave, he always grabs high-end stuff. But you guys know me, I'm more a movie car guy. He has very similar interests to me, though, as you could see with the IROC test shot. Like, that's something I would have grabbed. You don't see a lot of those. You see the test shots, but I don't see a lot of the IROC ones. That's awesome. But I love that he got the movie cars and that Bullet Charger. That's the first edition one by Ertl. If you go back and watch the Retro Collectibles Christmas videos, the gift that we gave Dave for Christmas was the old school OG Bullet Mustang in the box. So that goes perfectly with his Bullet Mustang. So he has the set. He actually is displaying the Bullet Mustang in the box. And the Charger, as you could see, was damn mint. So he's keeping them both in the box. And he has a beautiful cabinet on his main floor that he keeps his favorite stuff in, and that's where he's keeping that. But he's got the pair of those, and it looks like he's going to start getting his favorite movie cars, which is awesome. And it's good because we know movie cars, these are the ones, they retain their value as well, right? Nobody's ever going to forget Dukes of Hazzard. Come on, Smokey and the Bandit. So earlier they had already put a bunch of stuff downstairs, so I'm going to show you some of the little stuff. Glenn has a bag of stuff. He thinks it's all in the same bag that's also from the States, so he's downstairs looking now. But some of this stuff I've never seen before, and it's cool. Like this here. Made by Road Champs, of all people. Okay, it's still got the bands on it, but of course the one band looks like it might have deteriorated. But this is back in the day when numbers meant something. Like even a name like Road Champs, you know, 1 of 10,000, right? That is from, now you're lucky if you get a run of 30,000 or something. That's their RLC for Hot Wheels. But this is from 2000 Road Champs. I've never seen it in that scale. It actually looks well done, believe it or not. Polyglass tires, like it's... I like the box too. A lot of this stuff we didn't get in Canada. So I still see older stuff like this to this day that I'm like, wow, I didn't know it existed. This is another one I don't think I've seen it. Numbered. And I love what I don't know if Glenn noticed this. I will show him and Dave, but I just saw something I love. Flashback. Kmart price tag. Look at that. And believe it or not, this is a Kmart toy, Muscle Cars, Tootsie Toy. Okay, I've heard of Tootsie Toy, but it's not a huge name. But even this is numbered, guys. Like, you know, 2024, this model retired at 10,000 pieces. Got a gold sticker on top. Like, look at that. What happened to this stuff, guys? Now they're doing these huge runs and charging out the butt on, yeah. And that is nice. Like, that would look good, you know, just sitting on the shelf, or you could make a custom out of it. But I would keep it in the package. It's a numbered little car. Oh, it's got, look at this, guys. I did not notice that. It's got a little nameplate. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Wow. Like I said, I'm picky as stuff, and a lot of times they grab stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, this stuff is awesome. This here is something I almost bought, but didn't. Glenn got a really good deal on it. These older Johnny Lightning dioramas. If you guys remember, I had the Starsky and Hutch one, just like this, but it shows Starsky like jumping over the red car and stuff. but they were just awesome. These are from the late 90s, I believe, playing Mantis. No, 2000. Year 2000. I was close. But I love this era of dioramas here. And Glenn came up empty-handed. It's okay, because we still have a triple unboxing to do. He got this for like next to nothing, so he grabbed it. It's different. We definitely didn't get these limos over here. Not that I know of anyway, not when I was collecting. Now we're starting to get stuff like that. Now this is something that's kind of cool. It's a little extra unboxing. Wicks, guys. Wicks filters. Believe it or not, companies sometimes will have companies do cars for them. And I've seen some really high-end cars that were made for employees of companies. This isn't an employee thing. It's made for the public, but it's for Wicks filters, like Wicks oil filters, and it's called Route Wicks Collectibles. That's kind of cool. But this is Richard Petty's 69 Ford Torino commemorating his 100 NASCAR victory, 1/24 scale. Even this is probably numbered. I mean, on August 22nd, 69, at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Richard Petty achieved his historic 100th Grand National NASCAR career victory, winning the 69 Ford Torino 429 cubic inch Talladega. This edition, released by Route Wicks Collectibles, authentically details the Torino race by Petty in 69. The only year Richard Petty raced in a Ford. Wow, I didn't know that. I'm also not a NASCAR expert. I know nothing. With the purchase of this limited edition collectible, you will be joining Wicks in supporting Victory Junction Gang Camp. $1 from each car will be donated on behalf of Wicks Filters. Have a look at this thing. We'll put on the gloves and we won't get right into it because we got a friggin' triple unboxing. Because this is the Retro Collectibles Victoria Day special. Triple unboxing.
Actually, it'd be a quadruple unboxing with this one.
Yeah, quadruple with this one, yeah.
I was going to say, I thought that was weird because Richard Petty drove a Dodge, a Mopar.
Yeah, that's what it said. It mentioned that for only 1 year, he drove a Ford. And you know what? I remember reading that somewhere not long ago. I think it was a Facebook post, and it had a picture of this car, and it explained it. Not this diecast car, the actual car, But yeah, this is the stuff back in the day, guys. They were very good quality. This is probably late 90s, early 2000s. Let's see if I can get a date here. Yeah, the Wicks filter stuff is usually pretty nice. Now this, we're not going to get into it. This will be the COA and everything, and it is still sealed. So I'm not going to open that. We're going to leave that. But we will look at the car just to see, because I've never had a close look at one of these ones. Does it come out or is it it's screwed in? No, it shouldn't be.
No, it's just airtight probably.
Be very careful. Okay, I was tugging on it and I was like, that is screwed in, but it's got no screws. That's weird, man. That is a heavy little bugger, and that is, I would say if you, this opens beautiful too, Glenn. So smooth. If you're a fan of this car and this driver, definitely check this out. Does the steering turn? The steering turns, but it's very tight. This is an old car, I think. It's been sitting in the box for a long time because the steering, it's acting like a real car. But it feels so nice. The paint, and it's got no paint rash. Yeah, I love the 7-Up. It's got the old school livery, Prestone, Winds, Goodyear, Autolite. The front wheels turn, you just have to be extremely careful, and the tires turn with it. The doors don't open, but I don't know if they would on this. Trunk opens though, and it reveals, and the trunk opens beautifully. have a look underneath before we look under the hood. Under license from. That's weird. It says under license from and there's no license. Some sponsorships over here, but that's not what it means. Weird. No license. Then it says 100 GN with 100th Grand National Win Special Edition, 429. Oh, we didn't look under the hood. Guys, that's got real wires. I gotta turn on the light here. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting. And I gotta get some batteries in there. I got them charged. One sec. Keep forgetting it's daylight out. Had everything charged, all my ducks in a row, and then I was like, I got no batteries in it. But at least they're all charged. So you gonna do me like this? Hold on guys. I just want to make sure there's lots of light for this because the engine compartment is, that might be one of the better ones I've seen, to be honest with you. Like, look at that. Those wires look real. Like, they don't just look like run-of-the-mill die-cast wires like the way they do them. They look like real wires. Not saying that the normal ones look terrible, but I didn't expect that detail. Wow. Yeah. And I said we weren't going to get right into it. Okay, enough of that, guys. We're going to put it away and we're going to get into the other unboxing. So these other cars here that we're going to get into, the Mopars, what makes them special is I see those around a lot. Okay, and you guys probably do too, the same box even. But the thing is, it's not those ones we see a lot. The ones that we see a lot are kind of the ones that all have the same paint job, the same wheels, stuff like that. Right away, when they pulled those out of the bags yesterday, I went, wow. Because at first, I thought that I said, oh, you brought home a bunch of old ones to myself. But then when I seen the paint, seen the wheels, I said, these are different ones. And I know these are not ones that would just fetch like, $80 each just because of the way they look. I'm wondering if they're like numbered, some special edition, something like that, but we're gonna get into all that. And all three of them are Mopars. And the cool thing is, they're all the same car, but they're different motors. Like what I mean by the same car, before anybody kills me, they're all the same year car and the same make. But all three of them have different motors, so it's gonna give the three of us, it's something to look different at on all three cars, right? We're not looking at the same thing, all three cars. So let's get ready to get into that. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean, okay? Like, well, give me a sec. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I mean. Now, the older die-casts like I'm talking about, I still love them. It's not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just they've advanced with the details and stuff like that. So a lot of these older ones you'll get for peanuts. Like, I mean peanuts, and I'll show you the ones that I'm talking about and the ones that I'm not talking about. Now I'm going to show you one that's a different year. The ones that we're unboxing today are 71 Cudas. This one's a 70. It is still desirable because of the color. But you'll see what I mean. It just doesn't have the snaz of these other three. And it's from the same era. Well, I just figured out the mystery anyway, guys, but I'll tell you about it. So like I said, this is from 1993, believe it or not. I was 15 years old. It's pink, so it's desirable. I like it. It looks awesome. But it's not super detailed. Like usually the ones in these boxes, you're not getting super details. But then I figured it out. That was until 1998 or whenever the heck it was, when a company called Supercar Collectibles got involved. The box looks the same, but I noticed why they're a little bit better. See, all three of them got the love by Supercar Collectibles. Supercar Collectibles, that's why they got the extra little details I'm noticing. Like as soon as they put them on the table, I said, those are not regular castings. and we're going to get into them, and I can't wait to get into them. So Supercar Collectibles, I love their stuff. The one thing I noticed, this is the company that I've seen people, now it's not necessary, well, it kind of is because it's the way they put them on the display bases years ago. But they had a series of cars. It was usually Mopars I would see this happen to. But people would order them through the mail, shipping, eBay, all that stuff. And I've seen pictures of these cars show up the box, and it looks like somebody took a bag of diecast car parts and shook it into the box. Like it looks like an unassembled model that's metal. It's unbelievable. Other than that, the details are good, but Supercar Collectibles stuff, I would not have it shipped, especially not in those boxes that make the car explode. These ones aren't bad, but if you can avoid shipping any of this stuff, avoid. Now, Glenn was saying that these had a low number. Before I say it, I'm going to look into them. I guess the guy that sold it said that this one has a pretty low number, this purple one, and I could see it, but I'm going to look into it. But they are gorgeous, so let's get into it. So I did look up the numbers. The guy that sold it to Glenn, told him that the purple one was a limited 500. And I said, I wouldn't doubt that it's numbered, but I didn't think it was that low. And I was right. It's actually 2,500, which is awesome because you know how many of those they made back then. So the purple one's 2,500 pieces, and the other two are limited to 5,000 pieces. So these are going to be cool to open. So guys, I'm actually very excited about this because the paint on these things pop. Like I don't know if it gives you justice through the camera lens, but wow, when they put them on the table yesterday, like at first, like I said, I seen the box, I seen the shape of them. Like the way the box is shaped, and I said, oh, you grab some little Mopars, cool, right? But then when I seen the paint on them, like I think it was Dave that said, check out the paint on the, I started looking. These guys didn't realize they were by Supercar Collectibles either. It was me, we finally had time because we've been putting around, organizing here, just having a good time all weekend. And we finally had time to look at the box. But I was telling Glenn, so first off, before we get into this is the one we're going to unbox. We're starting with the 340 first, then we're going to go to the 383 and then up to the 440, that's 2,500 piece. This is one of 5,000 pieces. It actually says it on the box. Now, how this works, it looks like an Ertl. And it is. But a company called Supercar Collectibles just took it and made it all that much better. I don't know if they're related to Ertl. If they are Ertl, don't shoot me because this is before I was collecting. But I just know the idea that this Supercar Collectibles took this, and even the existing boxes they were using, they kind of made them a little bit better. They added their own little text and all that. Now this is Glenn's idea for a triple unboxing. Today is the actual holiday. This is the long weekend in Canada, May 2024. This is Victoria Day weekend. So I was going to unbox one of them, the purple one. It's the lowest number, plus it's plum purple, and it's, you know what I mean, the 440. And then Glenn had an idea. He said, why don't you make it a triple unboxing? And I thought about it. I said, it's the holiday. We didn't do the video yesterday. And then I said, you know what, Glenn, let me see, because we don't want to unbox 3 cars that have the same details and just different paint jobs. And I looked, and the 3 of them have different engines. So that is beautiful. Even those dog dish wheels, guys, like these are going to be, I cannot wait to get into them. And these have never breathed the air. They don't have any fingerprints on them. We're really letting these breathe today, guys. These are from 1998, I believe I said. 98 or 99? 98. 98, I was on the run in Calgary in 98. And that's no BS. 98, I was on the run. 99, I went to college. So yeah, they have all this text back here as well. I want to read it because it's interesting, but I want to get right into it for you because these are beautiful. And I cannot wait to see the 3 of these lined up in our glamour shots. So let's get into this. And these have straps. So the guy had the right idea keeping them sealed. So far, it doesn't look like any of them have any damage, thank God. The way these boxes look, they're still got the ribs on them. So these were in a cabinet. These weren't in some sunny basement or anything like that. This was a guy that probably, it looks like it could have even been maybe the same guy that had them all those years until the guy that sold them got them. I don't know. I haven't been through a lot of hands, though, I'll say that. Whoever had them treated them like they were going to have some value. But time to get those straps off, and we're going to pray that there's no marks because they're right onto the body. Oh, we're going to need our knife. Or maybe not, actually. Our bowl's downstairs, but we might not need... Actually, yeah, I'm going to have to go down and grab it.
Here, I got a small X-Acto knife.
Yeah, give it, as long as it's sharp, please, buddy. Yeah. You know what, Glenn? Hold on, because we need the screwdriver kit anyway. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, I mentioned earlier about Dave's capability with just being a good hustler. And when I say hustler, I don't mean he hustles people. I mean finding stuff. Like, I'm a hustler, and you guys know I'm not a scammer or anything like that. A hustler means a guy that can find stuff for himself, take care of himself. Dave's that type of guy. Like, if I opened up a retro school of hustle for Marketplace, Dave could teach the class. Like, he's just as capable of me as this stuff. You know who's got skills? And by the way, if you didn't watch the last video of the G's Underground Diecast Museum, check it out. You've probably not seen a collection like that, and it looks like a museum. Like, it looks like a place of business. But the man that let us tour, G, a good friend of ours, part of the 905 crew, he's one of us. He is a very capable hunter. And when I say that, I don't mean Marketplace. I mean old school, the way I used to do it. Like, there's guys that try to use something called Stock Tracker and all that stuff. I tried it and it didn't work well for Hamilton. In fact, it steered me wrong when I tried it about 3 years ago. But he doesn't use any of those tricks. Like, he's just like me. He's just old school horsepower. Like, no BS, no technology. And that dog can hunt. Like, he clocks everything down the way I do. And when he hunts, and he can find stuff. That guy, it's funny because everybody will think that he quit the hobby or something, and then he'll turn up out of nowhere. And I love it because he's one of us. He found something not long ago. He was asking me for it, and I was so happy and proud about it because he was something he wanted bad. And I was just getting back to work and just getting in the swing of things, and a bunch of stuff was going on. And I was struggling to find it, and he actually went out and got it on his own. Like, he just said, "Oh, Neil's busy, this thing's tough to get." And he put out the horsepower and he took it home himself. And I was like, that's how you do it. He got it done. But yeah, I would have loved to have gotten it for him. Just the stars didn't line up that one time. But he got it done. And that's what I mean, just making it happen, If you don't put in the effort, you get no results. And that's what I say about Marketplace. I've been asked so many times about Marketplace. How do you find stuff on Marketplace? Well, one, I open it up and look. But a lot of the deals I've got, believe it or not, because it's an algorithm and it sends you ads of what you collect. So it'll automatically send me die-cast cars. A lot of them are crap, but a lot of them are like, I've had ads directly sent to me, like that Auto Art Bullet was one sent to me, I believe. Yeah, that actually, you know how I found the Auto Art Bullet? Another one of his ads, it was a movie car that I had that Glenn didn't have. And every time you find something cheap, a seller selling something like that cheap, always check his other ads. And boom. And this is sealed right in here, guys. And I'm being very careful because of the box, the inserts, everything, because this isn't your run-of-the-mill beat-up one. This is, we want to preserve the box and everything. And especially the plastic window, because that is an eyesore when it gets, we got her. We got her. Oh, guys, the paint. And Ertl's not usually known for any sort of paint rash, funny stuff. Now, I don't know if it might have it now because it's this other company or other people. Now, like I said, it could be the same people, Ertl, under a different name as far as I know. So please don't shoot me. But as far as I know, it's Supercar Collectibles, like, soups up the Ertl. Oh, wow, Glenn. That is gorgeous. It did have a tiny bit of dust come through, but you could tell it's natural dust. Like there's no fingerprints on it, and the paint is. Yeah, we gotta get those straps off it. Oh, that interior, guys. Yeah, definitely Supercar Collectibles. If you're wondering so far if it's worth paying a little bit extra to get that extra detail. Just make sure you don't ship them if they come in that box because, yeah, it's, like I said, it looks like a bag of model parts. Like I've seen pictures of guys, they'll have their die-cast box like this, and inside it looks like somebody shook loose parts. Like that's, and it came in the mail. And the box will be all intact. It'll just be the little studs, I guess, that they were using to put the car on. That is a heavy bugger too, Glenn, but I love the paint scheme of it. I love the dog dish tires. Like, yeah, man, that is gorgeous. Okay, we're going to get it off the base first, and then we're going to get the straps off it and make sure there's no damage. I don't need little stubby. Little flatty. Couldn't use little stubby, so we're using little flatty.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a flathead.
Nope. And you could tell these have never been out, just the tightness of it. Like, sometimes you can tell if something's been open or not just by how it feels and everything. Like, it could look like it's never been open, but it has. But you guys seen the fight I had sliding this out? That's never been open. And I'm going to guess the other two have never been, but we'll see. This one and the other one's a 1 of 5,000 number. That purple one, the 440, is the 2,500. I cannot wait to see the three of them together. The paint is gorgeous. We're going to look at them individually on the look-see set, of course, down here under different lighting conditions. And then we're going to look at them together and see how much bang comes from Supercar Collectibles. And yeah, so we are still going to go get the Godfather car. In fact, I considered doing it today, but we're not going to do that trip alone. We're going to wait till Glenn can come just in case something happens with the back, you know what I mean? And we need Glenn to get us home. Okay, so I doubt that would happen, but it's just in case. It's not as far as Barrie either. Oh, geez, guys, that is... Okay, we got to get these straps off. Okay, so I'll show you underneath the car anyway. It says Ertl, because of course we know it's Ertl. Using the Ertl casting, but making it that much. Damn, guys. Billboard, New York, the plate says. I don't know what that has to do with. We'll see what the other plates say as well.
Maybe you owned a billboard company?
You never know. It could be something, a code for just these cars, like for the die-cast cars themselves, or you never know. Never know, but we're going to look at the other two and see if there's anything unusual. But this, I can't believe how beautiful this is, Glenn. You know what? I'm going to go, I can go right. No, I can't. Oh, you know what? It doesn't go underneath if I can get it. No, it won't. It's making me have to cut it. Okay. With paint like this, guys, I suggest you guys cut it at the bottom of the car. You can't do it here, so I'm gonna go inside the car and be very careful because you do not want to damage that paint with an X-Acto knife. In fact, I'm gonna break the knife off so that it's sharp. One sec. Okay guys, so I got the sharp X-Acto. I'm gonna turn on our light a little bit early because I don't want you guys to miss any of the details with this beautiful paint or anything. I'm gonna try to leave the hood closed for now. Of course, all three of these are 71s, guys. This is the 340 we're opening now. Next, we're gonna open a 383 with a different paint scheme. And then the last is the plum purple 440, and that paint looks, guys, beautiful. So first thing I look at, one sec, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a little bit, it's got a little, okay, it's coming off, okay. So a tiny bit of dust still does get through, not much, but a tiny bit. Luckily that was not strap damage, that was a clump of dust. Oh, thank goodness, it came out good. It came out perfect, Glenn. And it was right on the white thing, but it wiped right off. So, now these, sometimes you'll get them and they will have oil residue on them, like an oil type residue. Sometimes you just gotta wipe them down. These are so gorgeous. Like they don't have any fingerprints on them or anything. It's just the dust I'm getting off. So I don't want to be showing you guys and doing glamour shots when they're all smudged, all that. So I'm making them, it's a very light coating of dust, like very light, but it's there. Damn. Oh man, that's gorgeous. And thank God that is not strap damage. Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna leave the engine for last. It's got good weight. I'll show you, you've seen the bottom already. Bottom is a run-of-the-mill Earl. I noticed with these, you're really looking at a paint upgrade. And sometimes the wheels, which pop on this. Now this, I'm surprised for the time period. It's actually not, like it's not the molded plastic, whatever, to look like the chrome. It's actually the decal, whatever it is. But it looks realistic, so I have no complaint about that. It looks okay the way it's done. The back of it. Before the end of this video, I'm going to try to look up the significance of that plate. But the glass is so clear, like this has never been touched by human hands, other than now with me wearing gloves. Okay, so as usual with the Ertls, the trunk does not open. That's the first thing I had a quick look at while I was showing you the paint. Oh, so far the doors open beautifully, guys. Now, surprisingly, for these doors, the one thing I would do, and you know what I'm going to say if you watch my videos, that chrome paint pen would fix this in 2 seconds. That's a real easy fix. You don't have to be an expert painter. It's like painting with a Sharpie. And the ones that I found actually look like chrome. It doesn't look like a silver Sharpie. So I would fill that in just a bit. But other than that, I like how the seats are white and the floor is black and the center console dash is black. I really like how it breaks everything up. Like the shifter. It's got that wood grain wheel. Seats do not move at all, which is okay. Yeah, this one is these are real lookers, guys, because of the paint that they do on these. Yeah, so the only thing, now these are, the paint is gorgeous, but I will say it's not an auto world, but you got to think, these are 1998, guys, okay? So for back then, I think this pops. But I'm not going to crap on it because it doesn't have chrome details on the dash from 1998. This thing pops. Like I couldn't believe it was an old one just because of how nice the paint. And there's still some companies that can't figure out how not to get paint rash. Wild, you know what I mean? Like, and then you got older companies. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's look under the hood of this before we get into the next victim. Oh, Cuda 340. So not plumbed or wired like Auto World and Highway 61 and GMP and Shelby Collectibles, but I wasn't expecting it. Like I said, this is a lot of cosmetic. Late 90s, guys. Like, this is from the late 90s, and this looks amazing. So I've got no complaints. And there's that front end. Okay, let's conserve this light a little bit, even though we got rechargeables out the wazoo. Now we're gonna go over, it's gonna take us 15 minutes to walk there. It's our Retro Collectibles Look-See set. It's at the Cowie Diecast Museum. We're gonna walk over there. Now take it easy because it's warm outside, sun's out, so we'll take our time. Let's get going. I cannot get over these guys from 1998, and look at how good that looks. Wow. Wow. Again, just under those different lighting conditions, because sometimes you see stuff you don't see under other lighting conditions. I am in love with those wheels. Wow. Hood snaps open nicely, guys. Doors snap open nicely. Sometimes with the Ertl, it's hit or miss with the door jams. Most of the time, 99% of mine are all good. You know the one Ertl that I have, and it's probably one of my most expensive Ertls, if not my most expensive, and it kind of doesn't line up awesome? Smokey and the Bandit, and mine was sealed in the box. The door is just, I like to close the door tight. I've got to kind of play with it, and it's almost like the whole body's a little bit warped. But you know what's weird? Since I unboxed it, it's not as bad as it used to be. But yeah, one of my favorite best ones is one that does that. Okay, so let's give her a little spinneroonski. Over here onto the American side for a minute. Okay, going over onto the American side. What was that? Again, these are from 1998. So the interior details, I would still buy these and I would pay a decent buck for them. I wouldn't pay hundreds and hundreds, but I would take a chrome paint pen, like I said, and touch the accents up. But yeah, for the late 90s, guys, that's seriously heavy boom. Like, I cannot believe the paint on these things for way back then. And because it's such a weird thing where they're from the late 90s, but they got paint that looks like it could have been done last week, but it's missing some details that are on more basic modern cars because they are older. I'm not going to grade them on that because they don't deserve that. They deserve more of a level grade run. And there's the butt. Beautiful. And I just told Glenn that since we got 2 more unboxings, even though it is a special, I'm going to try to speed it up and shut up. I'm blessed because a lot of you guys told me you like my longer videos, but I don't want to kill you guys with it. But it is a special. Number 2. Trying to remember funny stuff, guys, when I'm out and about to show you, and when I seen those pants, I had to show you. They weren't really my style, so I just wanted to show you. Anyway, believe it or not, guys, we're almost an hour into this. I just figured that out, editing and rendering and all the good stuff. So I'm going to kind of go through the next two cars a little bit quicker. And what it is, I have my energy back. I'm excited to see you guys. It's a long weekend video. I want you guys to have a nice long video, but I don't want you guys to be bored by it as well. So I'm going to get through these next two ones quicker than the first one. My apologies. We're going to have a good look at them, everything. But I'm not going to be as verbal diarrhea. And part of that is from the extra energy and the extra brain power, and I can articulate myself better. Few of you can probably maybe even see it in the videos. Like, I don't know if Max and Wally can see. I don't see him as, I don't know, disoriented or in a trance, I guess. Sometimes I seem normal, like I had times when I was, yeah. That is gorgeous, guys. So this is another one that I can tell has not been out. There's not a single fingerprint on that beautiful white paint. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew it and undo it to save us some time, because you guys have seen me unscrew screws plenty of times. So got her debanded and deboxed and de everything. Bottoms of these are pretty run-of-the-mill little guys, but like I said, it's these paint jobs. Oh, this one still has a strap. The one on the door, that's the important one that we hope that doesn't leave any marks, especially with the nice white paint. One thing I'll say about the paint, guys, especially I'm noticing it on this white car, as I'm handling it, it's just so smooth. Like it's, you could really feel it. Like it's, and like I said, these have never breathed the air. So this is the first time in human hands. My hands have gloves on, but they're not all full of fingerprints. And luckily for Glenn, no marks at all from these straps. Luckily, I don't even have to wipe it with the rag. There's just none. The other one had a little bit of dust accumulation. Now this plate, Glenn, says Whitefish, 10,000 Lakes, Minnesota. So maybe it just might be random cars where they were sold or something. I don't know. So far it's two different places. Now this one is a 383, guys. The first one we looked at was the 340. The trunk doesn't open. Pretty much the same interior. Very similar, except the last interior was a two-tone. It had a black floor with white seats and stuff, which made it pop. The wood grain and stuff looks the same. We're gonna look under the hood for that different motor. And then we're gonna put this one with the other one. And then we're gonna do the best one. I can't wait for the best one. The best one might have a little bit extra details even. You never know. This one's a 1 of 5,000. Beautiful tires and rims, really realistic. They're not the dog dish ones like the other ones, but this is why this triple unboxing is awesome, because they have different details. It's not just the same car with a different paint job.
Yeah, that's the old Krager style rims.
Yeah. And similar looking motor to the last one we opened because of that big shaker. Big shaker hood. And it's got these on the side that are like decals, whatever. But I don't complain about them because they look great. They don't look fake at all. And the white really pops with the black. And it's not a white color. It's kind of a vanishing point white almost. Like it's not a bright white. You guys know what I mean. But let's have a look on the look-see and get into the purple guy. Supercar Collectibles touch, guys, on the old Ertl. You tell me. Make a difference? I think so. Those things pop. For the age of them, 1999. Oh, guys. Not a lot of difference to see in the engine compartments. I'm going to show you up close in a sec. But that paint. Wow. If you're a Mopar guy like like this year, the 71 with these paint schemes, and you're on the fence about one, pull the trigger. Wow. Yeah, the third one we unboxed, guys, the one with the 440, that engine might be different if we could see it underneath the air cleaner. Damn, son. Guess there's some proof here that all the stuff from when guys say, oh, that's 20 years old. It's not all garbage. Wow. Silly thing is, if I'm picking one of these right now, I'm picking the blue one. But I'm going on looks, and those dog dish rims with that color combo, whoo! Okay, I'm gonna free that third one out of its cardboard casket to save us some time. Okay guys, I am gonna open it up to save time like I said, but I just wanted to show you the box here one last time. In case any of you guys are looking for these. They look like the old Ertl boxes, but they have that, and they have up here, limited edition of 2500. That's for this purple one. I just wanted to show you how awesome even the box looks before we get into it. Oh, guys, it was worth the wait. Oh, man. That is gorgeous. Now, it does look like it has a bit of oil residue. It's nothing permanent. Just got to give it a wipe, like I said some of them do. Oh, and I didn't even have to add water to it, and it's okay. All right. Yeah, no damage, Glenn, from straps. You got very lucky with these three. But I think it's because the guy that owned them didn't keep the boxes in the sun. Because sometimes people think keeping it in the box is enough, but you got to keep it out of the sun. And
Yeah.
And this did have a little oily residue on it to protect the paint, it looks like. But it's beautiful. Wow. Not a mark. And this is the one we're going to wonder if we could see any differences in that engine, but we're not going to snap if we can't because it's got that big shaker hood. But look at those dog dish rims and tires. And by the way, guys, this was the hardest one to get out of the box. And weird, because when I did finally get it out came a big whoosh of air. And you know what the air smelled like? You remember the smell of a bookstore, like an old used bookstore in the 80s and 90s? That was the smell. It was wild. I said to Glenn, that's vintage 90s air. Okay, so underneath, like you guys know, pretty run-of-the-mill Ertl. Again, 1999. Inside, it looks to be the same as the other two, to be honest with you. Easy to upgrade though using a chrome paint pen. Now this is from 1998, so I think it's darn good for the era. They even did something different with the roof. I don't know if it's supposed to be gator grain or just a vinyl roof. It's not gator grain, I don't think.
It's the same as the Black Ghost, only in purple.
Well, Black Ghost has a gator grain roof.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks similar. It's same idea. Only this might just be whatever the heck they call it. Catch Me. That license plate says Catch Me and it's from Oregon. So yeah, this might be just street racers from the area or something. I'm going to look into that and maybe let you guys know next video. But there's a reason for those plates and I'll look into those and find out. Okay, so so the trunk doesn't open. We know what the inside looks like. Those beautiful dog dish rims. So this is just looking, oh, We got a difference, guys, under the hood. So I was going to say that I'll be disappointed if this, because the 340 looks like the 383. You can't tell a difference, but it's got this big, massive cleaner on it, so it's covered. This is the 440. So I said, if you can't tell a difference in this, that will be my only quip about the car. So yeah, they did change the motor. And we're going to have a look, of course, on the look-see set, but that is gorgeous. And would you frig off, you bug. Love this weather, guys, but...
Stupid fly.
Yeah, exactly. That's a mosquito trying to get... You don't want my blood, bud. Yeah, he was just sitting there trying to... I whacked him. These are going to look good together. Let's go have a look. Guys, would you look at that? Now tell me, if you were not a huge lover of Mopars from this era, that's not gorgeous. Supercar Collectibles, 71 Cuda. 340, 383, and in the middle, it's a big plum crazy 440. And we're gonna look at that engine right now before we go. Imagine having these three and setting up like one of those 3-tier, you know, the auto dealerships for diecast cars. Oh, hold on. So here you go, guys. So these two, like I said, you can't really see much of a difference because of that big honking cleaner. This one you can. These things are beautiful. Like I said, picture having a vintage Mopar dealership diorama with those in the window. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the Retro Collectibles Victoria Day special. Triple unboxing, 3 sweet Mopars. Can you believe those are from the late 90s? You should see the glamour shots, like the still pictures I just took of them. If you're on my Facebook, you'll see them because I'll be posting them. And I'll probably post them on the community wall on YouTube as well, just so you guys can see how good these old cars really look, some of them. You just got to make sure you get the right ones by the right people. Anyway, guys, I hope if you're where we had a long weekend, I hope you enjoyed it and were responsible. If it was just a regular weekend for you, I hope you had a good one. I hope the weather's good. I hope you're feeling good. And I hope everything's good. Anyway, guys, great to see you. I had a blast today hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. I got my hands full, so I'm not going to do the smash the like button. But you guys know, please smash like for me. Please hit the subscribe button for me while you're at it. My hands are full. And also click share. Share with your buddies because you know I'm going to be around. I'm going to be keeping on doing this. And now that I'm feeling better and the summer's here, I'm going to drive you guys nuts with videos. Anyway, guys, take care and we will see you guys later on this week with something else cool.